Hey Michael, it is Sunday, February 9th. Cheese? Ooh, I would like some. Cheese, please. I can has cheese. That sounds good. Sounds like a cool project. Good reason to try out a new hobby, because you get a good product out of it. It's kind of like when people make beer. It's like, that sounds like a great hobby, because then you get to drink beer. Of all the great things about the Midwest, I'm not going to list snow as one of them. I would love nothing more than to see some science in action. Action! Science! Action! Science! But no, seriously, it would be good to just see what is that like. I would be very interested in what's going on there. But all that to say, if you can't make it happen, don't feel bad. It is kind of an inherently weird thing to ask about filming. I'm in a position, of course, where I have to keep up appearances, and so filming becomes sort of just part of that. And so all the singers around me are, to one extent or another, also doing that. Last video, I showed a little promo they made of us at rehearsal. Well, somebody from the company showed up with a camera. We hardly even have to ask each other. You know, honestly, if somebody just whips out their phone and starts filming, it's very normal. Most people just start putting on a show. We do have rules. It's kind of funky. So there are unions. Orchestras have unions, and so do singers. The various unions have rules about a lot of that kind of stuff. You're only allowed to use, I think it's 3 minutes in your promotions for the year if you're an opera company in the union. You'll notice the clips that I showed you didn't actually feature any singing. They showed us at work, but then it was overdubbed by an orchestral. Speaking of unions, you asked about the governing bodies, and I'll just say, governing bodies is kind of a funny way to put it. There are bureaucracies at work. A lot of the times they're unions. In America, it's a lot more, Wild Westy. Anybody can start a company. Anybody can go get, most of them are not-for-profit. I think all of them are not-for-profit, more or less. That's the model here, is charitable giving plus ticket sales plus grants is how we fund our work. In Europe, it is different, actually, and there are governing bodies. State opera, Staatsoper. And that system is in effect that I know of, Germany, Austria, to some extent France. I don't know about Italy. Just on the off chance, I happen to know in Bulgaria, in some other places. And then there are also countries where there may be a state opera, but it's not necessarily the German-style Staatsoper situation. Like, for instance, there's the Irish National Opera or the English National Opera, the Scottish and Welsh National Operas, which, even though they're part of the UK for now, they're considered nations of the United Kingdom. And they are, I believe, I'm not the expert here, but I believe they're somewhere between the American and continental models, because every region is different. There are some places where you'll have a new theater. They'll want to say it's an opera house because that has a certain gravity to it. There's a new opera house in Dubai. And I know that they produce operas because I've seen them talk about it on their social media, but they also have a lot of other acts come through, Broadway shows and different touring shows. It's half opera operation and half something else, more like a independent venue. So it really is wildly different everywhere you go. Even in America, though we're mostly privately oriented, we do have the National Endowment for the Arts. There are state arts organizations that fund various arts ventures. There's also, I know in the southeastern Wisconsin area, a lot of those large groups get money from something called UPAF, which is the United Performing Arts Fund. And they are a grant organization, but they're funded by corporate donations. So it's a kind of interesting hybrid there, like a bureaucracy, an institution, but it's actually technically still private. So there's a lot there, a lot of different ways to do it. It's actually extremely complicated. Um, and I discover that more and more the more I look into it. So anyway, I really enjoyed your last video, and I can't wait to see your next one, as usual. Good luck on the cheese thing. Keep me updated, and I hope you have a great day, pal. Bye.